Sneako's conversion to Islam has been pretty controversial, of many people thinking that Sneako only converted to be an Andrew Tate clone, but Sneako will sort of dispute that by giving his actual reasons why he chose to convert from Christianity to Islam.
I resonate with Islam, why it makes sense for me, because it's weird. It doesn't make sense to me to pray to a man. I don't want to submit to a man. The only person that we should submit to and that we should pray to should be the one creator of the universe, which is Allah. He created the universe and we love him for it. Perfect. It makes the most sense to me.
Sneako believes the Holy Trinity of Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit doesn't make sense, and the concept that they can, all encompass one being isn't really a concept that makes sense to him, and because it doesn't make sense to him, he converted. Now, something else that doesn't make sense to Sneako is the idea of the variations of the Bible, the New Testament, Old Testament, King James Version. According to Sneako, that the Bible having multiple versions doesn't make sense, and that was part of the reasons why he converted from Christianity to Islam.
What's the chapter and verse of that?
Matt, verse 39.
What's the chapter?
I don't know. There's been so many different. There's so many different versions of the Bible, bro.
What other versions of the Bible are there? Sneako?
There's so many, bro.
Okay, tell me some.
Okay, let's look up versions of the Bible. We have the King James Version, the English Standard Version, the New American Standard, the New English Bible.
And those are the reasons why Sneako went away from Christianity and converted to Islam. But here's the thing I believe Sneako has yet to figure out, is when you look at something long enough, you're going to find something. You're going to find holes in it, right? But Sneako has been somebody who has been really vocal and outspoken against Christianity and has been trying to get his followers to convert to Islam. And if you're trying to convert people, you have to be somewhat well-versed on the religion you're trying to convert a bunch of kids to. So some Christians rode up on Sneako, to sort of confront him and debate with him to test his knowledge in terms of which religion is better, Christianity or Islam. But in the debate, they really wasn't trying to prove if Christianity was better or not. They was essentially trying to prove that Sneako didn't know what he was talking about, and he was merely slandering Christianity and didn't know much about his own religion, Islam, as well.
I think they want a little bit. Can we have a little discussion for the cameras?
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know, you just give us your views on Christianity and we'll just talk about them. We don't have to debate, we can just dialogue if you like.
Okay.
No, come. I wanna have a little dialogue with you, man. I'm not trying to.
What do you want to talk about?
I'm saying, I'm trying to hear your views on Christianity. You normally have a lot to say on your.
How many gods do you believe in?
One.
One God. Is
Yeah.
Jesus God?
Absolutely.
Okay, so who did Jesus pray to?
The Father.
Okay, that sounds like there's more than one now.
Well,
how
there's
can
more
God pray to himself?
because there's more than one hypostases in the Godhead. There's not more than one God, because God in this case refers to the nature, the divine nature, as mentioned in 2 Peter 1:4, the divine physis in Greek. So we understand there's one nature. That's what we refer to when we say one God. These persons have the nature. God is one in nature, tri and hypostases. But the hypostases aren't separate beings, because being is once again proper to the nature. So there's one being in three persons.
I give Sneako credit because, as you can see in the beginning, dude was calling him over multiple times because Sneako was trying to get off and run away. So I give him credit for at least standing in the fire and having a dialogue. But it was very clear from the very beginning, Brad, that Sneako didn't quite understand how a lot of these things work. And he's sort of just going off, I guess, the talking points of the dudes around him or what he sees online. But in terms of, actual theology and actually engaging in a debate, you have to have a higher level of understanding that Sneako doesn't. So this dude essentially just absolutely washed Sneako in this debate on the Trinity.
What's that word you're using?
Hypostasis.
What's your definition of that?
Person, individual subsistence and a rational nature.
They're separate or they're together?
Distinct, not separate.
What's the difference between distinct and separate?
Well, separable means they can be taken apart. We're not saying they can be taken apart.
Semantics.
It's not semantics, it's metaphysically different. Separation implies like this, I can separate this from myself, but a distinction just implies that there is a difference between two things without being able to separate them. So is that your contention, Christianity, that we're allegedly tritheists or polytheists? Is that your contention?
No, that's what I don't resonate. It never makes sense to me.
That's called a personal incredulity fallacy. So appealing to your own lack of understanding of a thing does not entail a thing is not true. That's fallacious.
This is Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel.
So some dude interrupted their debate and sort of gave Sneako like a Weasley way out while dude was cooking him. But he's right, right? Like just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it's a lie or is not the truth. In the case of Sneako, he doesn't understand it, which is why he converted. But it doesn't seem like he quite understand Islam as well, because they were passing Sneako around, bro, like just banging on him. So after Sneako got done with this dude, another man confronted Sneako about how he says the Bible has multiple versions, but the Quran has never been changed. So a dude confronted Sneako about that particular point and sort of exposed the fact that Sneako doesn't really know too much about Islam as well.
So I was wondering what your perspective was about the preservation of the Bible and the Quran.
Right, the Quran has never been changed.
Never been changed. So there's only one Quran.
Yeah, it's only one version of the Quran.
Only one version of the Quran.
Yeah, and since then, like, people have been able to recite it, even if all the Qurans were burned, we'd be able to.
Right. Because the oral tradition, you know exactly what it is, so you can recite it.
I can't recite it, but people can memorize it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, brothers can.
So do you accept that there's 10 qira'at of the Quran, 10 different readings?
Sure.
Okay, but those 10 different readings are obviously different, right?
Okay.
So if they're different, then there's not one Quran, there's 10 Qurans.
Okay.
So do you take that back, that there's only one Quran?
That's the first time I've heard that.
I said it to you, you accepted it, so I assume you know about it, right? You're not just taking my word for it.
What are the 10 versions?
No, so there's different recitations, just like there's different accents. There's a British accent, there's a Texas accent, there's an English accent.
They're not accents.
Different accent. Who are you gonna believe, a Muslim or a Christian?
Really? Is that what it boils down to? Just believe.
So Sneako is being confronted with the harsh reality that essentially he may have switched religions for absolutely no reason, because the same, I guess, critiques he had of the Bible or of Christianity, the same thing applies to Islam. And Sneako really wasn't informed enough or didn't really know too much about his religion, because when he's being confronted by a Christian about these very nuanced and basic things, Sneako looks unaware. Now, the funny thing about this is the dudes who are responsible for sort of ushering Sneako into Islam and teaching him is the one dude you see, behind Sneako, the tall guy. Well, he tries to step in and say it's just accents, and the dude's like, no, it's not just accents, buddy, right? So it looks like the dude who was responsible for teaching Sneako isn't really informed as well.
So according to Islamic Sunnah, the Hadith, Muhammad says there is 7 viable different ways that you can recite the Quran. They're called the Aruf. I can get the Hadith, it's Sahih Bukhari and others as well. So that must mean there are 7 ways of reciting the Quran. But according to your scholars, there's 10. How did that happen?
That was the first time I'm hearing that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You should look it up. Because what people are saying is that actually, Uthman canonized the Quran. Do you know about that canonization process?
No.
Okay, so the third caliph.
People like that.
Yeah, so Uthman put together a committee around 652 time to around 656. And he put together this committee to collect different Quranic materials from different places, because there were reports of people arguing about what the Quran was, because they differed. He then decided to standardize it into one Qurayshi dialect, to one standard reading. And then he burnt all the other Quranic materials and he sent it out to the 5 different cities. So you had Kufa, Sham, Medina, Mecca, and so on. My point is that if there's meant to be 7 readings, where are they?
I don't know. Where do you think they are?
I think they were destroyed.
Sneako is newly converted, so nobody expects Sneako to be able to debate religion with like literal theologians, right? Like literal dudes whose entire lives is dedicated to studying religion. So nobody really expects Sneako to really, be able to debate them. However, like you would think if the basic principles of why you left Christianity was, the Trinity doesn't make sense, or, there's multiple versions of the Bible, that doesn't make sense to me either, then one will hope that you would have doubled, tripled, and quadruple checked before you transition over to a new religion, right? Or at least be able to defend those points and say, listen, this religion right here is better because they have this, and this don't. But if the reasons why you left that religion can be applied to another religion, or can be undisputedly applied, meaning it's applied because you can't really dispute how it doesn't apply. That's an issue. But Sneako also gets another break because the big bodyguard dude who is his teacher, he steps in, and as he steps in to sort of speak to the other dude, Sneako makes like a getaway and leaves quickly because he understands he's being on camera and this is not a good look for his brand being owned by some normal dudes.
Whether it was or was not the case that the Bible was preserved or not.
Because that's what I noticed about Christians. You guys just project your insecurities about your religion.
You going?
Onto Muslims.
Whoa, you going? It walked off. Right. That was the quickest debate ever.
He just booked it. Now, they didn't let Sneako get away too easily because they confronted him again, and this time it was just really embarrassing, bro. Sneako literally did a book it when they tried to confront him with what would appear to be the truth, right? Or facts that Sneako could not dispute.
Can be still your father though. No, Jesus has no biology. God has no biology. God has no biology.
What would he do if we show you when Jesus says he was God? What would he do if we can show you where Jesus says he was God?
Then I become a Christian.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
22 verse 13.
And I also pull up Revelation 1 verse 3. And I also pull up Matthew 28 verse many verses. God bless you. God bless you, man. Sorry, man. Sorry for the way that shake, man. Sneako, don't run. Sneako, don't run. Sneako, don't dash. Don't dash. Don't dash. I'm a Christian. You're a hypocrite, Sneako. You're a hypocrite. Don't dash. Don't run. I'm the one. Don't dash. Don't run. Don't dash. Please. I know. I do not want to. But he came with aggression and he came with his whole team. He came with his whole team. Sneako, don't and dash. Sneako, don't and dash. Don't run. Sneako, don't and dash. This is embarrassing, Sneako. This is embarrassing. Don't run. Sneako, don't and dash. You came with a question. Sneako, you came with a question. Now you're down and dashing. Don't run. Down and dash. Guys. This is hilarious, man. Every week the Ummah gets destroyed. Don't and dash, don't run.
This is odd to me because Sneako calls himself a seeker of the truth. He prides himself on that, right? He doesn't care where the truth is coming from. He seeks out the truth. Well, it appears they was confronting him with what appears to be the truth, and he was running away from it. And I don't understand why, right? You know, the only reason you would run from it or run from the truth particularly is because you're not really interested in the truth. You're just interested in whatever beliefs you're able to peddle and monetize the most. Now, I would like to think that's not Sneako's goal because I do believe that Sneako has some true and genuine intentions. I do believe he does want the truth and he does want to seek it out. I think Sneako has stuck with this shtick enough to where we can say he's probably not grifting, because if he was grifting, he would have made the pivot a long time ago, right? But he has generally stuck in the same atmosphere. Now, he has switched planets, you feel me, right? He has gone from red pill to centralist, all right, to like not centralist at all, to all the way right. So we have seen Sneako switch various positions, bro, but for the most part, I think he means well, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, all right? Like, comment, subscribe, and also if you're still watching, click on this video somewhere on my screen to find out how this 304 just exposed fresh and fit secret pregnancy and a lot more juicy details. Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.